This society will always be as a drunken of the wine. Controlling all the senses for understanding great divine. I will send fire to this land.
Shalom and welcome to the IAMFITPodcast. We had some technical difficulties, but we good now. It happens, okay? It's a string budget, okay? Peace and blessings to all you brothers and sisters who are joining me today with this conversation. So there was a bill that passed in 2021 during the COVID. But now it's being mandated now, or it's going to start. It's hitting the news cycle, so to speak, now, and this is the reason why we as people, especially people of color, especially Christian, and you know, I'm not a racist. I accept all nations and creed, but I understand that the people of the book are the people that are in the ghettos today, which are known as blacks and Latinos, Native Americans, indigenous people throughout the whole world, people in West Africa, people in South America, Asia. The lost tribe of the house of Israel are no longer lost. They're found, but people do not want to retreat them and put them back in their royal position. And I believe we, people of color here in America, are going to be playing a pivotal role in biblical prophecy. If you do not believe in the Bible, if the Bible is not for you, this is not the show for you, because this is a Bible-based podcast, and we are looking at the trends. We're looking at what is coming down the pipe to see where does it fit in prophecy. We don't always get it right. We don't always get it wrong, but we're trying to unpack what's going on today in regards of this legislation passing. While we watching, you know, the Cat Williams interview, I think it's now is approaching close to 50,000. 50 million, excuse me. I think it's like, last time I checked was like 46, 47. And that was like a day ago. It's probably higher now. But while we were watching Cat Williams, and while we were distracted, and this is the reason why there were issues with picking the right Congress leader, because a certain branch of the Republicans, I would say Donald Trump Republicans, are getting tired and getting caught up with these bills, that you sneak in these bills without without people having an opportunity to read it and digest it and even debate it. So they snuck this in, you know, back in 2021, I believe. This is from Newsmax Money. It says, take a closer look at the infrastructure bill they jammed through Section 24-220. Sneak inside the recently passed $1.2 trillion legislation is a proposal to have a it is a proposal to have a lockout device to be installed in all new cars. There it is. So we drop a bomb. So we cause the alarm. And this is the reason why, and one of the things I'm going to be implementing, I want to be focused on my own life, is make it an effort to actually record, to actually begin to read these bills, because when they pass these bills, and we are in a situation that we are looking at these bills. Let me, let me see if I think I had the bill here. Let me see if I can put it here for you guys. And there it is. Okay. So this is the bill right here. Okay. These bills are open to the public. People don't understand, should understand this. These bills are open to the public. We are able to, let me put it here in the comment section. Okay. And I believe as Christians, we have to start looking at these bills and reading these bills and see what they're trying to implement, what's coming down the pipe, what is being pushed for the next generation. Now, when you read some of these bills, you're going to see, or you're going to hear, you're going to talk about, well, this is about drunk drivers. And this is not a device that is an individual is going to be pressing a button and your car is going to turn off. AI is going to determine. AI is taking over the world. AI is taking over America. AI is here, folks. Get used to it. However, as a Christian, as a Bible believer, we have to look at every trend that's coming. Because listen, I'm pretty sure there were certain groups like Mothers Against Drunk Drivers were heavily involved in passing this bill. I'm pretty sure they mean well. I'm pretty sure they, and shout out to Brother Tommy Odell. I got your email, brother. I think I left my number. Just give me a call. I know you was wanting to have a conversation. I think you are down or were representing a organization. I'm not sure, but give me a call. I think I left the number, so you give me a call. We could chop it up, okay? And shout out to all the brothers and sisters that are supporting. And this is the thing, man. Every bill that gets passed always gets passed with good intention, or in the surface, they tell you for good intention. Now, these bills usually get passed in the heat of night. They jam up extra part, an extra bill, an extra mandate, and a bill. How many pages this bill has? Let me look. This bill has nice, 1,039 pages. Over 1,000 pages this bill has, right? And we hear and we having conversation about, Hollywood and what's going on in Hollywood and all these, scandalous type of situation going on. But what about this bill? What about this bill? Right? And I think it's section 24-220, right? And goes into it. And this is as men going God's way, what are skills I think are valuable for us to have in these pandemic, these trying times. Learning how to read these documents, I think, is very important. Learning law, because all these documents are established as law, as lawyers. Many of people within Congress are actually lawyers, actually people that study law and understand how to write law. So I think this will be a good skill to have. So lawyers, if you are a Christian, if you're looking to be part of an organization, Man Going God's Way, send me a call. Send me an email. All the information is listed below. So this is extremely important for us as people that usually are in the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. Because, like I was mentioned earlier, Mothers Against Drunk Driving probably did it for a good reason, right? Who could go against creating laws and mandates to protect children, people, men and children, men and women, excuse me, from drug drivers, right? Drug driving is an issue. And I know there's been conversation about, self-driven cars and cars with, AI. This is going to happen. This is the beginning, guys. This is the beginning of this grid taking over the world in a much larger way. And that's the reason why I'm going to become a farmer. That's the reason why I'm going to prepare how to live off the grid. Because, listen, even if they had good intentions, like I said, right, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, they probably heard this idea or just came up with this idea, how the idea came up with. I'm pretty sure Mothers Against Drunk Driving were doing this for a good reason, or the members in that organization, right? I'm pretty sure they want to help children, because Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, these are mothers that had lost children by the hands of drunk driving, right? So that's a noble cause. I get it. But all good intention, right? Start with a good intention, especially when you are in a situation that the government is coming in, and onto your doorstep and say, hey, we're the government and we're here to help you. Those are words you never want to hear, because the government don't help half the time, and when they try to help, they make things worse. And so regardless whether this is a pandemic, is planned, or whether this is something that just happened organically and people are saying, hey, this is a good thing to protect us. If your car is swarming or is speeding, your car will just shut down, right? So this was going to help police with car chase, right? It's going to help drunk drivers not to drive drunk. All good. But what if, and it always starts this way, it starts with this drunk drivers, but then what about people that are considered to be dangerous to the government because of their speech, or people that the government or, the mainstream media or the status quo feel that you are a threat to their interests? And those threats could be broad, and those interests could be broad. And everything, folks, we live in a money economy-driven society. So I'm pretty sure a lot of AI companies are like chopping up the bits, like, we're going to make some money, because, like the Bible says, the love of money is the root of all evil. The numbers to call in is 267-358-0879 if you want to share your thoughts on what do you think of did you heard about this bill? Did you know about this bill? Are you have any concerns about this bill? I know I do. And I will say this also. If you have an old car, take care of it. Let's get away with getting the newest and the prettiest, right? What's that guy? I think the guy who did Batman. Is it Christian Bale? I think that's his name. One of the guys, Dark Knight, right? He has had the same truck since the 90s. I think it was like a Toyota truck, what have you. And he's not someone that likes a lot of material stuff. He doesn't get caught up with the Hollywood nonsense or whatever. He's an actor who's, doesn't get caught up with the glamour. He could clearly afford a better car, but he chose to just say, you know what, I like this car. It works, takes me from point A to point B, and I'm going to just keep it. That's the type of attitude we need to start having. Because you have people that leases cars, right? Because the lease, you could return it, redo the lease with a new car. Every year you have a new car, and you look good, successful, high value man, yada yada yada. The latest cars, we have to get away from that. We have to stop promoting, excess of things. And shout out to Kevin, to Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate and all these brothers that are talking about in the rep pill, to become your best self, but you could get the best woman, yada, yada, yada. Listen, there's no time for that. you become your best spiritual self, your best ready self for the collapse. And in regards of women, I've done a show about this a million times. Do not engage with women in America because it's dangerous. Dating women in America is dangerous. I'm sorry, sisters. We cannot take the risk, right? Unless you are ready in day one. And I actually did a show on that same subject. You know, my thing is a little blurry. Let me see if that's, I don't know if that's the Wi-Fi or it's me. But okay. So we have to, okay, right. Zedekiah, yes, you will own nothing and be happy. And that's what they're looking to promote. We still have time. I truly believe that. I truly believe we still have a little time, so don't panic. But you have to plan. You have to plan. You have to plan. You have to plan. Get your wolf pack. Learn how to live off the grid. If you've never been camping, learn. Get yourself with some friends and start camping. I'm going to put together a camping trip together for some of the brothers of Men Going God's Way. I would say this, man. Get your passport. Make sure that whoever is in your household, whoever you live with or lives with you, that you guys are in one mindset. You guys are together, same mission, same purpose. Christ says that your greatest division, your greatest foes will be those of your own household. Excuse me. So I'm concerned about this. And this is exactly why we have to start reading these bills to get passed, these mandates to get passed, these new laws that get passed, that we get caught up with this government scenario. We have to have a conversation about this. So let's watch this video real quick, and fair use.
Okay, here we go.
More than a year after President Biden signed his $1 trillion infrastructure deal into law, it's making waves again on social media.
I just found something super interesting that you should probably know about.
A TikTok video with more than 100,000 likes says the bill, which allocated funding for everything from roads and bridges to high-speed internet, has a hidden provision that will impact all cars made after 2026.
Buried in Biden's infrastructure bill, it is a mandatory backdoor kill switch for your car.
Other posts claim this feature will give police and government authorities the ability to remotely shut off your car. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources are the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Claims that the Biden administration's infrastructure bill requires remote kill switches that are accessible by police are misleading. Verify read through the text of the bill, and it doesn't include any language about a kill switch.
Now, you have to be extremely careful when they have these websites that are verifying the conspiracy theorists or concerns of people saying, look, they have a kill switch. So technically, like I was mentioned earlier, they have this, the kill switch doesn't come, or the unit that is making the decision, the entity that's making the decision, is not the police, it's not a human being, it's AI, artificial intelligence. It's going to make the decision for the police, for the government. If this AI, right, computer, self-aware, device, whatever you want to call it, right? This car is acting erratic. This car is driving too fast. This car may be being driven by a drunk driver. Let me shut it down. I will be more confident if a human being, a police officer, will have that making that decision, a human being, right? Rather than a computer, a machine that's supposed to be self-aware. So be very careful when you read when you see these type of videos. And like, oh no, I saw something. That's all conspiracy theory. It's not a kill switch. It is a kill switch, but it's being designed that the car itself would die itself or kill or turn off if it detects something wrong, right? Fair use.
What it does include is a provision that requires the development of technology that could prevent or limit vehicle operation if a person is drunk or otherwise impaired. But it's not a remotely operated kill switch that police can use to shut off someone's car. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says Biden's bill directs the DOT to issue a safety standard, requiring all new cars to have advanced impaired driving prevention technology installed starting in 2026. This type of technology already exists, according to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, a nonprofit that advocated for the legislation. MAD President Alex Ate told Verify, no one outside of the car, including law enforcement, will be able to stop vehicles or prevent them from starting. So while Biden's infrastructure deal requires new cars to have advanced impaired driving prevention technology in 2026, police won't have a remote access to a kill switch. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2019, more than 10,000 people died in drunk driving accidents. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says advanced drunk and impaired driving prevention technology can prevent more than 9,400 of those deaths annually. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Biden has signed a law to put kill switches in cars. And I know this sounds far out, but it's actually even beyond this. It includes even tracking systems in your car. All new vehicles are now going to be required to have this, although it may take a few years for it to roll out. I'll be talking about what that means, what these can actually do, and kind of what's happening with all this. And also some new Twitter documents showing that Pfizer, one of the top executives...
Well, that's another conversation altogether with Pfizer, you know. If I'm sounding good, I just want to make sure I'm sounding good. I think I had too much... Let me see.
Showing that Pfizer...
Okay. Conversation altogether with Pfizer, you know. Okay. If I'm sounding good, I just want to make sure I'm sounding good. I think I had too much. Let me see.
Showing that Pfizer.
Okay. Conversation altogether with Pfizer, you know. Okay. If I'm sounding good, I just want to make sure I'm sounding good. Mic check. Hold on. I think I had too much. 2 seconds, folks. I think I making sure how I'm coming in. 1, 2, 3. With Pfizer, you know. No more, if I'm sounding good, I just want to make sure I'm sounding. 1, 2, 3, mic check. 1, 2, 3, mic check. Hold on, folks. Today is not a good day. 1, 2, mic check. 1, 2, mic check. If I'm sounding good, I just want to make sure. Okay, 2 seconds. Let me restart. My check. If I'm sounding good, I just want to make sure. Okay. A bit echo. Okay, yes, there's a bit echo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Seconds. Let me restart my check. If I'm sounding. Okay, hold on. 2 seconds, folks. Let me bear with me. I'm having all kinds of issues today. There's a delay, Elder. Yeah, I noticed that. There's a delay, so. A bit echo. Okay, yes, there's a bit. Okay. I think I'm good now. I think I'm good, so I apologize. Okay. So, all right. Bit echo. Okay, yes. Yeah, there is a delay. I don't know. There is a delay. You know, the devil is a liar, and they are attacking. You know, so. Okay. So this whole thing about verification, right? The YouTube channel, what have you. You know, they're like a fact-checking scenario. Be careful with those because a lot of them are designed or are set up to promote the status quo, what's coming down the pipe. And listen, I truly believe that sometimes good intentions end up being bad outcomes or having bad outcomes. When you give machines over people's life, when you give this mysterious grid, this new, especially with vehicle, we don't know the malfunction capabilities of these things. We don't know what driving what type of driving it will considered to be erratic or dangerous to the public. We don't know that. And all the time, once a bill is established and is part of our, existence, here in America and also out in the world, it always becomes a situation that other laws are impound or are added to these mandates or these laws to get passed. And before you know it, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, it has evolved to something totally different of, controlling the masses. Like, well, you know what? If we could do this, what would be another good idea? We should have all cars automatically follow the driving speed limit. You can't go over the speed limit. Okay, let's put that in there. You know what we also could do? We should, track these cars just in case they get stolen. Let's put a chip in these cars. You know what we should do? We should put a chip in children just in case they get stolen. It just keeps going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And one of the reasons why, this usually is a thing that they begin to add upon it is because the money. Follow the money. When there's money to be made in AI, now, this is the new gold rush. AI is the new thing that all companies are involved now. In my company, that what I work during the day, they deal with AI in regards to medical equipment. And I'm not saying that this thing is all bad all the time. No, it could be used for good. But the only problem is there is no one good but the Father. And human nature is wicked by nature. Human nature is corrupt by nature. And anytime there is a new technology or there's a new way to stop crimes, criminals figure out how to use those technology to do new crimes that we wasn't thinking about. New corruption usually start coming in within contracts. Who's going to get the contract? And when it's talking about millions and millions of dollars, this is a $1.2 trillion bill. Somebody's getting that money. Somebody's going to make a lot of money. So we have to admit to ourselves that when we create these new mandates and these new laws, we are creating this law and we are putting these laws in the public arena, and the public by nature, since the fall of man, we're going to try to figure out how to make more money, how to override it. We're going to try to figure out how to, expand upon it when there's money to be made, and it will end up being something else. This controlling grid system that is, in every part of our lives. So let's talk about this, right? People want to call in 267-358-0879. Are you concerned about this? I know I am, but I'm motivated. I every time I see these type of articles, it just motivates me. It puts more fire under my skirt, as they say, and they validate, right, our concern. They validate, right, all the things that we've been talking about. It validates the Bible, right? Even Joe Rogan, who's a stark atheist, is now talking about the ability of there may be a God or there is something out there that we may have to talk about. There's a scientist that is a mathematician, and he discovered through that discipline that there must be a God. The evidence is getting stronger because now information is now rapid and it cannot be controlled. as it used to be. When I was a kid, there used to be like about 4 or 5 channels, right? Only the wealthy people had cable. And then eventually everybody had cable. And then from those 5 channels, 10 channels and 20 channels, before you know, you got hundreds of channels. You got on social media. Before, I would have to pay millions of dollars to have one person see me, 2 people, 10 people, 5 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. I will have to pay thousands, millions of dollars to have the ability to come to your living room today, or your computer, or your laptop, or your phone, wherever you're listening to me. But now, a schmuck like me could preach the gospel, could have a conversation with people throughout the entire globe. They cannot stop this. This is the new printing press. But people need to understand, when the Roman Catholic Church took over this religion called, made up this religion called Catholicism, and wanted to control everything dealing with Christendom, although they were the new kids in the block, their greatest fear and their greatest weapon against them was the printing press. The reason why the King James Bible began to spread in an enormous way is because of the invention of the printing press. So when they cannot stop something, they have to now discredit it. They have to now find other ways to keep their power, their grip on the society. And social media is this. So please support people that are talking truth. If you believe what we're saying here, if you believe that we're doing a good thing, make sure you like and subscribe. Because it's coming, folks. And if you don't have your wood pack, if you don't have your house in order, if you're not with the right people with the right state of mind, okay, you're going to get caught with the flood. You're going to get caught like the days of Noah. And you don't have to believe in the Bible, because even atheists now are saying, you know what? There's something going on here. We have to stop preparing. There's something going on here. And this is no longer a scenario that we have to guess, or have to, be in a scenario that we are arguing or debating. Can this society collapse? Can this be possible? Can this be a thing that is real? Right? Can this thing be something that is a real conversation? America can collapse. America can become the next country that we talked about and say, hey, remember when America was a thing? Remember when America was, around? Do you remember America? Remember when, this, that, and the other? So we have Brother Ricky's calling in. I want to hear his thoughts. So we need to talk about this. We need to have a conversation. Brother Ricky, what say you? What you got to add to this conversation?
Well, what I like to say is that, for those who've been in the know for quite some time, know that we need to prepare. It's not by accident or just some kind of fluke that people with Dodge Chargers and Challengers, Scat Packs and Hellpacks and RT and RS Camaros are getting their cars repossessed.
Yep.
People don't know what's behind all that, because those cars could literally outrun the police car. They will burn their behind. So they have to get these muscle cars off the street. They got to implement these Teslas and all these EVs, because they're using EMSs in order to shut down your vehicles.
Yep.
And then for the other cars that are still engine-wise, they're gonna have a kill switch where they just put, shut you down. And the most scary part is all these cars that they call, sleepers. They're trying to get those off the streets as well, because they know that many people know how to get loose. So they want to have everything on a lockdown grid. So when people think they're going to run from, because they put a kill switch in your car, what you think they're looking to put inside your body?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, people just need to start realizing, men, stop get out of women's spaces. If you got a woman that talk too strong around you, it is not that you weak. It's that the fact that you need to let the Most High cleanse your mind, and you need to get into what us men do. Because women, they don't know what to do at all. And right now, that Satan is really using has nothing to do with just Israel women. He's using all the women against all the men.
Yeah.
Because he know that good men, we can persuade and talk men that's not in the truth into getting on board with what we're trying to build. And then eventually they'll be like, man, I won't end what y'all got going on. And so we have to realize, man, it's time for us to stand up. If you got too many women around you, let them go, put them down, learn the land, learn the lay of the land, learn the herbs of the land, because we're going to get sick out there. You're going to need.
And Brother Ricky, I'm going to call you on my personal phone. Hold on. Okay, his phone dropped, but I'm going to bring him in through this route. Brother Ricky, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you call me at my personal phone, and I'll pick up that way. So call me on the, you got my number. You can call me there. Okay?
All right.
All right, baby.
Okay.
All right. And it's funny, Brother Ricky was talking about this thing about old cars. And I was thinking the same thing getting ready for the show. It's like, my car is a 2012, right?
Ricky, maybe.
Okay. Brother Rick, okay, you live. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, you're coming in clear. Okay, outstanding. So you were saying?
Brothers, don't let Satan use people to trick you out of who you are as a man. You making six figures does not make you a man. Because how many men have made six figures for so long, and then when they lost all of it, they went and jumped their behind off a bridge, or went and jumped outside their office building because they lost some doggone piece of paper. Your life is more important than that piece of paper.
Amen.
I'm not saying money is not important. It is. It's a tool.
Yeah.
And if that tool becomes bigger than the Most High, then that's not a tool. That's your God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to get back to the original basis. We got to learn what's important so we understand what's important to trade and how to barter. We got to understand how to build a tent. We got to understand how to fix a tent. We got to understand how to fish. We got to understand how to hunt. We got to understand how to clean the meat, how to when you go and slaughter the meat, you got to understand you got to let that junk hang up. It got to rot a little bit. Got to put some salt, some vinegar on there so you can cleanse the blood and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You got to get back to the real manly things.
Yeah.
How to build off the land.
Yeah.
But the only thing you know how to do is clock in on some man's job and make some paper and take somebody out to eat. That ain't a man.
Yeah.
A woman could do that.
Yeah. 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 And you are absolutely right. The more I do these type of conversations and the more I speak to brothers like yourself, my brain is constantly moving, and I have to even shift some of the guidelines within Men Going God's Way, because we don't want to be distracted, right?
Right.
So we're going to be talking about that in regards to making a shift, in regards to what needs to happen, because you're right. We have to go back to the earth. We have to go back with our connection to the earth. Right now, that connection has been separated, and there is the government is the earth. The government, business, corporations is in between us and the earth. And we want things that God has created for us to plant to the earth and come out and feed our family, clothe our family. We are now giving that right to that process, not to in our hands, but to the government's hands. So if you give the government's power over your life in regards to your travel, your food, your medicine, your clothing, your shelter, like Brother Zedekiah says, you will owe nothing, but you will be happy. No, the opposite is true. You will owe nothing and you will be miserable. You will be a slave. We have to go back to earth. We have to have these skills if we need be. If anything happens, we have to cut everything off and go back to the grid. Off the grid. We have to go back to the earth. We will have those skills that we need. And Brother Ricky, I want you and I want to, borrow those skills, learn from you, brother, because it looks like you know what you're talking about in regards of cultivating meat and getting gain. And these are the type of conversations, and these are the type of brothers, and these are the type of skills we have to stop talking about. Not this high value man, like the brother says, and focusing how to get a woman, how to seduce a woman. All that is worldly. I'm not against you being with a woman in America. But you will take a risk if you're dealing with a woman in America that is a Western woman, that is not a God-fearing woman, even if she is a God-fearing woman, if she has all these issues that she still has to work on, great, honey, you can work on that. But right now, I need a first date ready wife today. I don't have the time. I don't have the patient to be in a situation that now I have to train you. I have to take time from what is going on, from this collapse, right? And stop and be in a situation that a woman who's probably dealt with trauma or dealt with this and have issues with disrespect and panicking, or have issues with asserting authority. You are a danger to a man going God's way, especially right now. So, Brother Zedekiah, what you got to add to this conversation?
Shalom, Elder Gabar.
Shalom.
Yeah, everything you guys are saying is facts. I wanted to just, emphasize on the matter of character and on the spirit. A lot of people, they get lost in the fact that we have to prepare and, keeping their eyes on the world and being watchmen, but you got to continue to grow in the spirit, be meek, try to be righteous. We're not righteous by acts, but by faith.
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage the brothers not to lose sight of your character. Just because you have faith in Christ doesn't mean that you're in the proper spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I just really want to emphasize that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Zedekiah, could you do me a favor? Could you call me back on my phone so make sure both of you guys could hear each other and vice versa? And then I'll have this phone for the audience and everybody else.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, very good.
All right.
That was Zedekiah. So, Brother Rick, you mentioned those vehicles that. What is your understanding? Is it illegal for us to have certain vehicles dating back? You got the Dodge Ram, the truck. That before they started putting all these technologies and so forth, so on. What's the understanding that you have on that?
My understanding is this: me being able to travel
Wait a minute.
certain cars.
Okay.
So I would say this: for brothers who are able to do it,
must be in the form of cash, credit.
What? Zedekiah, I think we hear you in the background. Zedekiah, you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I think your TV was on. But go ahead, Brother
okay.
Rick. Go ahead.
I was Shalom. I would say this: brothers who had the means to do it. If you could get your old school truck, like them old Ford or Chevy trucks, where they used to build them, you get your old muscle car, get you one, because them cars don't have the technology in them where it's easy for them to find you.
Yeah.
Because I want you to know, watch certain movies. If, when the grid go down, it's always some old motorcycle or old vehicle they use. They're telling you something.
Mm-hmm.
So any car that was built after 1996, matter of fact, I'm going to say 95 because the Chevy Impala SS, the ones that you can put the digital dash in, those can easily get manipulated and still get shut down. So any car that's after 1995, leave it alone. Focus on something old and don't be out there, using it up. Just hold on to it and keep it in pristine condition until it's that time. But also, if you're going to use a car for that purpose, do not get no regular paint. Use matte paint, matte black. Use the same stuff the military use. It's for a reason. So it's a lot of different things we do need to talk about to make sure that guys know about things. But at the same time, we got to remember, whatever we put out there, they are listening. And they'll try to find some way to counterfeit what we got going on. So that's why the Most High told us, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We gotta operate in silence.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that is because the reason why I've been holding on and having this meeting, and I need to kind of be a cryptic. There is certain there's certain social communication device like Zoom that they pass. I got an email that all Zoom meetings or conversation will be automatically recorded and stored. So I've been trying to find a different way to communicate with the brothers. So that's the reason why I haven't been sending the email. I got this information. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but there's some challenges there to make sure that we could be secure in our conversation.
Well, this is one way. This is one thing they can't touch at the moment, but it is an expensive way. Every brother need to get a satellite phone. Now the good one's gonna cost you anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a pop just for the phone. That's not for the service. That's not for the SIM card. Some of them come with the SIM card, but they can't dial into the satellite phone.
Right.
For whatever reason they can't. I'm happy for it, and there's some other means, but I have to talk to you in a different way to get it out because, like I said, they're listening, and we can't allow them to be able to counterfeit everything we got going on.
It says here, Brother Tommy says, during the shutdown, my 1989 Dodge van, and they had sued that I didn't get it back. Interesting. My van, they had sued. Sure, they made sure that I didn't get it back. Yeah, and even I think I might switch over to StreamYard. I may go to StreamYard as well. I know that's going to be a part of Meal Secure, but ultimately, we'll talk about this, and that's been the challenge. That we're not saying anything illegal. We're not talking about anything that is immoral. We as men coming together that believe in God, that want to make sure that our family are secure, to make sure that we are secure, to make sure that we have a wolf pack to protect ourselves, just in case. And so, but we have to start, putting that together. But absolutely, man, absolutely. It's one of these things, guys, that I feel that we cannot take for granted the fact that we have a cheat code, and that cheat code is the Bible. That cheat code is the scriptures. Do not underestimate the understanding that the Bible is a book that have been proven, although scholars don't want to admit it, of prophesizing events before they happen. It's the only book that has made that claim and has been validated that claim. This is the reason why when you have a date of a particular book, specifically dealing with prophecy or dealing with certain things that is recording certain events that happen, the scholars has a rule that they put the date. They say, well, if they'll do the carbon dating or the linguistic dating, but if that date lands before the event happened, they will say, well, it happened between this day and another day, and they put the day after the event happening. It could have happened because in their mind, their rule is if the Bible has, if there's a manuscript that has survived or has been discovered, and it's talking about the book of Daniel or the book of Revelation or something that has happened in history, they usually try to date it after the event. Because science or the people that are historians, a lot of them are atheists, and they have these scientific rules that when something has been prophesied or a manuscript has prophesied an event, they usually date it after the event happened because there's no way they would have known, right? That's impossible. That's not science. And that's been the challenge on getting actual real dates. But when you start looking at from a perspective of linguistic or even some carbon dating, I know carbon dating, there's some issues with it when you're dealing with stuff getting older than 2,000 to 3,000 years, 5,000 years, 6,000 years. Now it's some challenges there, but it is a science that is useful when you're dealing with. I would say with a 2,000 year range, it could still be useful. And once the data comes out that is earlier than the actual event, they usually want to stop playing around with the numbers. But the Bible prophesies events. It's been proven, so you cannot undermine that, and don't underestimate the fact that you believe in the Bible. You're looking at the Bible as the guidebook of your life and what you must do next. You should not panic. You should not have fear. The Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear, but prepare. And sisters, you have to get under a man. Under. Not next to him, not above him, not beside him, under him. We are living and dealing with a crisis. And when you're dealing with a crisis, we don't have time to be voting. We don't have time to be discussing what is your feeling about what I want us to do. We need to plan and you need to go. We need soldier women right now. Women that will honor and obey their husband, period. Find a man that believes in God. Make sure that man is not a hypocrite. Make sure that man is intelligent, sound body, and he is a man that is going God's way. And get under that man, not next to him, not above him. You're not his 50-50 partner. We don't have time for that right now. The time that we have is to move. We have to plan. If I'm constantly arguing with my woman and I'm constantly debating, she's always bucking authority against me, this is exactly what they want, and it's going to become a liability in the future. Because these are the people, when they panic, they're going to give you up. These are the people, when they panic, they're going to call the authority and think, oh, my husband is acting weird. These are the people that they're going to call the shrinks and the doctors and the people that are going to say that will have the authority to say, we need to take you away and take you to this place and do these testings. How are you raising your kids? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? I was speaking to a friend of mine today, or 2 days ago, actually, a day ago, actually, that their child is sick. He has asthma in really dangerous type of scenario that is a life and death situation. Some form of breathing pattern, something wrong with him, yada, yada, yada. The doctor is telling the parents they cannot go back to school until he gets better. The school is saying after a certain amount of time, even if the doctor or the child has a letter from the doctor, they still have to call the authorities. It's just their policy. So if you could help it, brothers and sisters, homeschool your kid. A lot of people get intimidated with homeschool because they think, oh, I'm not a teacher. I've been out of high school for a long time. Don't worry about it. And we also got to be connecting with a lot of parenting, homeschool companies and organizations that will help parents. You don't need to teach your kids. You could hire a tutor, very affordable. It's not cheap, it's not cheap, but you have to. It's reasonable, right? And the money that you will be saving, taking your kids to school, paying for that expenses, you could have it in the comfort of your home. Your child could see a teacher, and they could talk to them. And these are homeschool. There's a lot of homeschool company and nonprofit organization They help parents guide their children, so forth, so on. Well, Brother Gabar, I work and my wife work. This is the perfect time to start adding other wives into your household and having that conversation. I say, honey, listen, you and I work. I need to get a second wife to look over these kids, right? Or we could get a second wife that she could work and you could stay home with our kids. And because we need to income, or maybe we need to get a extra job or extra a side business where you could leave that job and stay at home. Women, now more than ever, you should be focusing on, I need to keep my butt home and raise my kids, raise my husband's kids. Guard the house, protect the house, make sure when your husband is out there hustling and busting, getting that money, getting the coach of bacon and coming back, bringing it back to the family, you make sure that the security alarm is right. Your house is clean. You have enough food. You have enough things that your husband may not be thinking about. More than ever, this is the time for women to start really having conversation and say, honey, I know this extra paycheck does help, but we need to try to maybe come up with an idea if I could stay home and protect the house and guard the house when you're out there working. Now more than ever, we need that nuclear family. And sometimes you need two income. Let's bring other wives, as the scripture says. In that day, 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. Now is that day. That day is approaching. And it's not when Christ came. That's not going to be implemented. That's going to be implemented before the second coming. Those that escape the war, they're going to attach themselves to men. Now is that time. Let no man shame you, sisters or brothers, to make you think that you are dealing with some lust issue. If you say, I think I need another wife in my household to help my wife out. This is the time. Now is the time. This is the day the Lord was speaking of. Because the term day is not one term, it's not like a thing that's one day. Like we have to wait for that day. It's a time period, right? And in prophecy, sometimes it takes more than just one day. It's a time period until it gets fully fulfilled. We have to stay strong. We have to start talking about these conversations. We don't have a lot of resources as a people. That's why we have to come together and put together our resources. And brothers, you have to have conversation with your significant other. If you are constantly at odds, if you guys are not equally yoked, she is a liability. She is a liability. And you have to start making strong decisions. Brothers, anything else you guys want to add?
You getting me, Adam?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yes, sir.
Okay. To add on to that, brethren, and just like Elder was saying, start listening to these brothers on these platforms. Most of them are nothing but panda bears. Because guess what? When stuff get tough out there, I guarantee you, it's two things that's going to happen for brothers out there trying to pander to women. A, they're going to cry, and they're going to be looking for a woman. B, they're going to fold, and they're going to take the mark because they're not married.
I think we lost Brother Rick again. Okay, I think he's back. Okay, Brother Rick, I think you're back. Your phone dropped. Go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah, what I was saying was most of them brothers, they're not going to be man enough to step outside that door to figure it by themselves because they're so used to living life like a woman.
Right.
Or
always depending on a woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Because having these panda bears on YouTube, they get all their funds from a woman, and these women out here upholding them in their lifestyle, not knowing this brother ain't got y'all back worth nothing. He don't care nothing about y'all. So and brothers and also learn how to hunt in every different way. Because remember, we're not the military, so we don't have what they call unlimited ammo. But you know what's unlimited? rocks, twigs, and sticks. You can make your own arrow. That's the reason why we are supposed to learn to use the bow in the left hand, because you'll never run out of ammo long as you know how to carve your own rocks and shape them up into an arrow and tie them onto a stick and put that split in the stick so the arrow stay on there and it's good enough where it don't move. Because let's remember something here. When you shoot an arrow, there's no noise. So if you miss, guess what? You can shoot again.
Mm-hmm.
But you sit out there with that loud behind 22, you ain't gonna shoot no 22 out there. You out there with some 50 caliber, 40 cal or whatever it is. Guess what? You gonna definitely lose, because if you miss, hey, your food don't ran away. So
exactly.
Start worrying about what these women got to say.
Exactly, and learn how to be so sufficient without a woman that your world doesn't become upside down if your woman leaves you, or you need to leave your woman, or God forbid something happens, because it's one of these things that if a man is whole, right? God made man whole before he created Eve, right? He gave everything he needed to sustain, but God said, you know what? It's not good for Adam to be alone. It's not good for man to be alone. I will create him a helpmate. The prominent word in that conversation is help mate, a helper. If your wife or your woman is not your helper, but is your adversary, is your constant person you gotta always argue and debate to get things done, that's not your helper, that's your adversary. You need to have a long conversation with yourself. But a lot of times, many men get caught up with the wrong type of relationship because they are not used to living alone. They're not used to dealing with certain things, taking care of themselves. They're mama's boys. To some degree, I'm a mama's boy to some degree, because when I left my mom's house and I moved in with my girlfriend then, wife now, my wife kind of took over what my mother used to do for the most part. And that's and in normal circumstances, that would be cool, right? That would be normal, because usually a man would cleave to his wife, right? But now you have to be ready to say, if I have to do this solo with my bros and the brothers that I rock with, then great. But if I have to get this alone without a wife, that's also good too. It will not rock your world. You should be sound and be ready to if you things you never done before, doing laundry. I don't remember the last time I did laundry. I know how to do it, right? I know how to cook a little bit, but I should learn how to do it better, just in case, God forbid, I have to feed myself. How would if I'm in a situation, my cell phone is down, the grid is down, because they expanded this kill switch to also phones, right? In the future, because that's how it usually happens. It starts with one thing and it ends up with something else, right? I won't be able to call and DoorDash. I won't be able to call the Italian restaurant down the block because it closed down and it's no longer there. I'm in the wilderness somewhere. How will I be able to feed myself? And these are the conversations we have to start having as a man. You have to be ready to stand alone, okay? Get your wolf pack of men. Surround, if your wolf pack is a lot of women energy, that's a liability. Yes, I understand you have to take care of your wife, your daughter, your mother, your sisters. Yes, but you got to have a wolf pack separate and apart from them. They look out for you. They love you. You love them. You have the same mission. You have the same purpose. That is your true wolf pack. And that wolf pack will help you to protect your loved ones, your wives, your daughters, your sisters, your mothers, your grandmothers. But you cannot depend on them, because women panic sometimes. Not all. You have certain women, they're soldiers and they're down and they listen. They don't panic. They come with a game plan that you discuss with them. And when the things is coming down, when things hits the fan, they execute the game plan perfectly. There's women out there that would do that. You got to find that woman. Okay, you got to find that. And if you right now with a woman, you're stuck in a situation, start having those conversations with her now. Any last words, brother, before we end the show?
Yeah, just one last thing. For all the women and sisters who are listening or who may end up listening, who be like, you know what, I want to assimilate myself with these kind of brothers who can truly protect. What I do ask y'all, please go to the women of old, of yesterday, and go to them and talk to them. Ask them questions. Hey, Big Mom, before y'all had wash and dry, how y'all wash clothes out there in the bucket and made them clothes so white? Because we ain't going to have no washing machine out there in the wilderness or in the woods. When you ask her, how did y'all cook food? Start cooking food on the stove in the oven. Learn how to use a barbecue grill, because that's what's going to be going on moving forward. Ask her how, say, hey, Big Mom, how in the world do I knit these clothes together? Because Fred done ripped his pants.
Yeah.
And he only got these last pants left. We can't go to the stove because they all closed up, and we ain't got the chip to go inside them.
Yep.
See, these are the things that matter. We got to be self-sufficient on both sides. For the women that want to assimilate, learn these trades. They are very, very important.
Yeah.
Because a good pair of socks could be the difference between a man getting frostbitten on his foot
Yep.
and him surviving throughout the night with some nice warm feet.
And that's another thing. You know, you not only you should have food in your immediate home that you could survive with 6 months to a year without going to the store, rations and food, but also clothing. And I always recommend people to invest in denim. Denim is very durable. Denim can last you forever. Get yourself 7 pairs of jeans, different colors, different camouflage, black, blue, whatever it is. Store them. Get yourself 20 packs of socks, underwear. Store them. Get yourself some comfortable shoes, boots, sneakers. Store them. Never wear them. Get yourself nice leather belts. Store them. Get yourself a winter jacket. Store them. When you in a situation, it's like, you know what? Can I survive on my own without using any grid services, whether it be food, restaurant, supermarket? Can I survive? And if the answer is no, you cannot survive between 6 months to a year or even longer. You got some work to do. Absolutely. Well, thank you, brothers, for go ahead.
Just one more, brother.
Yes,
One more.
Please.
And please, for all those who can, remember, like what it says in the Bible, do not let your flight be in winter or on the Sabbath. Now, I want you to think about that. Didn't they attack us in 70 AD? Not only was it winter, it was on the Sabbath. So every man that don't understand, learn what it means to live in freezing weather. I'm a Florida boy. I can't stand cold weather. Anything under 70 degrees is cold to me.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is learn what it means to live in freezing cold weather, because it's easy to live when it's warm. But when it's cold out there and they doing stuff 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and you gotta get going and you gotta get your family together, hey, it's gonna be tough. But you need to prepare. Start doing drills and start preparing your family, because it's going to get real. They ain't playing. So they know 2019 is coming up very soon.
Amen.
In the real world.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you, Brother Rick. Thank you, Brother Zedekiah, for sharing your wisdom. I want to just come in for a little bit, just share with the people. And I want to try to come more often. I think I have to just get used to, because one thing I got to focus is increasing this podcast and spreading this podcast. I want to really elevate this podcast to the next level. I should have been 100,000 subscribers by now. So if you're not subscribed, make sure that you like and subscribe. And thank you, brothers, for sharing and expressing your knowledge and your information. And we'll talk soon. Shalom. All right. So it's like this, man. Let's read the scriptures and let me reiterate that everything in the Bible that has been prophesied has come to pass. So you could take this to the bank. We're in Revelation chapter 18, verse 8, which read as follows: Therefore shall her plague come in one day, death, and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judges her. Pay attention. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and live diligently with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off, for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thou judgment come. And check this out, verse 11. And the merchants of the earth, China, India, Saudi Arabia with the oil, these are all the merchants that they have made billions from American consumption. We are the most consumption country in the world. Once we go down, where China's going to buy and sell their cheap goods, Nintendo, Xbox, glasses, sneakers, all these things are done in the East, in the Far East, sweatshops. They're going to, in one day, these merchants are going to lament. Let me read. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys their merchandise anymore. So, just because you leave this country, it doesn't mean once this country collapses, that it's not going to affect the country that you be left to, right? So even in those countries, their dollar is going to suffer and collapse because America is going to be knowing more. So learn how to farm. Learn and get connected with people that know what they're doing and love you and protect you, and you love them and protect them. Learn to share and have a barter system and protect your family and your infrastructure. And just simply get out the way and wait upon the Lord, because he's going to deliver his people. So, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me. Until next time, may the Most High keep you and watch you, and shalom.